Let's do some thinking out loud as I walk around and look at both trucks and float some ideas and see what kind of feedback anyone has for me, because the feedback really is important to me. It occurred to me recently, I looked up the timing. It's been almost 4 years since I got my last truck, so I'm kind of behind the curve on things that have evolved in the last couple years. And as I look at this truck and I look at that one, I'm trying to figure out, like, this is exactly what I wanted when I got that truck. Like, it turned out better than I expected, and I want the same experience here. Only when I bought this, I knew what I was aiming for. I bought this kind of, I don't want to say on a whim, but I don't have a good plan for what I want to make it look like. Now, I'll try to find a picture of James's LWS. I think it's a truck where instead of having a roof on it, it's got a roll bar system with a turret in the top. I would love to do that, but James came and looked at this a couple days ago and said, you know, there are only like 4, maybe 5 of those roll bar turret systems in the United States. And the last one that he's aware of that sold for like over $16,000. I don't want to put that kind of money into this truck. That's the whole idea. Like, that's probably how much I've got in the turret system in this truck. And the whole point of moving from one to the other is really twofold. One, I need a new project. This one's done. And 2 is I want to extract some of the time and effort and money I put into this and end up with a lower investment in this truck, so I don't have to feel bad when I go out and beat the crap out of it. I've been afraid to do much fun with this. Like when I've gone out with the Army and helped them with some training exercises, I've been worried about, you know, things getting damaged and climbing around up top looking at where all the brass from the machine gun dropped in, you know, chip paint off. And I want to be able to play with this one a little bit more. So I want it to be more functional, and I don't want to have to worry about it so much because I have too much money tied up in it. So one thing I was thinking about to make this less expensive so I can sell it quicker. Number one, I'm going to pull the W bumper. I have decided that. James concurred. Yep, definitely pull this bumper, put it on that truck. Okay, done. I'm going to do that. I've thought about pulling the headlights. I actually have 3 or 4 different sets of headlights, LED headlights in there that Brand sent me to try on this truck, and I never did. And a blackout light, and it's already got wiring for a blackout light. So I think I'll definitely pull the bumper. I'm not gonna have to pull any of the LEDs and stuff. I have been thinking about, do I want to pull my little side armor pieces? Because that'll reduce the price of this truck, make it sell a little quicker. It's part of what makes it unique, but I haven't had any bites on it, so maybe I'll start stripping parts. The problem, look at where the holes are on this. Okay, now look at where the holes are from the the Marine Armor kit. Yeah, those holes aren't in the same place, so not that it matters. The armor's gonna cover it up, but I hate to drill more holes. But, you know, I'll probably do that. I think I want to talk to Jeremy at Safety Third and get his rock rails to put on this one. I've said that on every truck, and I haven't done it yet, but I've done other stuff with him, so maybe I'll do that this time. You can see this had the heavy doors and doesn't even have hinges. It's got the chain, the limit strap chain. I've got hinges for those Amtech doors. I've got soft doors. I've got half doors. I've got these hard doors. I mean, there's another option to make this a little bit more affordable. Do I take the doors off of that truck and keep them with this? I mean, I could do that. Who knows? Haven't decided what I'm going to do there either. For tires and wheels, I would really like to go. I've always done military wheels and tires on every Humvee I've had. I think maybe it's time to go for some aftermarket wheels and aftermarket tires on this one. A little lighter, a little less rotating and bouncing mass when it goes down the road. I think I want to do that. So let me know what suggestions you have on wheels and tires that I should do with this truck. And then I've got those Mastercraft seats, so I think the back ones will bolt to this panel because the bottom folds up. The front, I'm gonna have to figure out how to fit in here. And I might actually do a modification to this cross piece. I do not believe in just chopping it. I think it's there for a reason. It is structural. And I've actually got a couple of these extra cross pieces. It goes all the way across. I've got them in the storage building back here. It's a significant piece. I don't want to cut it completely, but I might not be opposed to notching it by an inch or so and then adding some additional reinforcement. I know some engineers that I may try to enlist to help me come up with something to replace that, or maybe just look for one of the way AM General did it. So on the dash, I noticed this morning when I was looking, that is a 60 mile per hour speedometer, and I think I still have an 80. I may swap that out for an 80 and swap the gear on the transfer case or wherever it is that speed is fed from. But I've also been thinking about maybe pulling this whole thing and going with a digital dash of some sort. I don't know. And you know, for a speedometer, you can also use a GPS-based speedometer instead of the gear-driven or electrical speedometer as well. I don't want to change the light switches. I like the old ones just because they don't catch on fire as much. I'm probably going to talk to Austin and see if I can get his lock kit that takes the standard switch and relocates it forward, which would be, you know, back from here, but forward in the truck, and then puts a keyed lock in front of it so that you don't have the danger of the key frying things, but you still have some security there. I've already got, you can't see it, and I didn't bring a light with me. It's an aftermarket, one of the start boxes with a push switch. So we've just got the little button. There are no batteries in the truck right now, so I can do that. So that's already done. I don't have to worry about modifying the start box. What else do I want to do modification wise? I'm deciding if I want to mess with the air conditioner. That's one thing James said that it looked all right, and blow out the lines, like blow some air through the lines. But it's supposed to be mounted on a hard wall back here, and I see this being more of an open truck, not something that I'm going to need air conditioning in. I've actually never hooked up the air conditioning in a Humvee. Like, that's got 2 air conditioners. I've never even turned them on because I've never needed it. So I don't know. Maybe I pull the air conditioning out. Maybe I figure out a place to mount it. If you have ideas on where to mount that, please let me know. I've got the airlift bumper and the tire carrier to put on the back. I'll get to that at some point. I've got mirrors and new sun visors and a couple different soft tops, 2-man soft tops. I'm probably just going to leave it as a 2-man for now. I don't know. I really liked when I had a 4-man soft top. So I may, if I can find a C-pillar, I may go ahead and do that conversion. And then I have a cargo cover to go over the back, like a soft cover. That could be neat. I also have a cap that is cargo troop carrier size that I can put back here, that'll have a ledge that comes out over to store stuff on. I don't know if I want to do that or not. W bumper on the front, airlift bumper on the back. It'll be, that configuration is going to look like on this truck, where it'll have the airlift bumper with the tire carrier, and I'm going to take the little pinball hitch here and move to that truck. And I'll do the same thing with my cup holder. And I've got extra antennas and radio mounts. I may do that. Something James told me is I should pull this so that I can figure out how to mount it on that truck, the whole turret assembly. This is an 11 series turret, so it's not going to fit because that's a 10 series truck. So the geared ring and all of the fun stuff down here on the bottom, you know, the bearing and all that, I would need to sell or trade and then get the 10 series stuff. The problem is the support ring, but I talked to Chris at Granite Tactical yesterday, and he says he is 45 to 60 days away from having an aftermarket support ring that'll work on 10 series trucks. And he also makes C-pillars and the what do you call them, long range rails or something. I actually have some rails on the side and a hard rear wall, like an 1165 style steel rear wall that Jacob Garlett's made, that I still haven't put on anything. Maybe that gets used here. I don't know, I'm thinking out loud. Let me know what ideas you have. Something else James talked about was, you know, I got a clean slate. I would like to be able to go out and do more with the Army. I did 2 of the Robin Sage training things and they haven't called me back. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that James stole my slot. And I'm not saying that to call him out, because if you've seen any of James's trucks, you'll understand why the Army would prefer to use his. They're kitted out better than mine. I'm not angry at all. He has earned the right to steal that slot by having better trucks than me. But I would like to make mine better so that I can get in with one of the different training lanes here in North Carolina and go play some more Robin Sage stuff. My LARPing like I'm in the Army. Things that I can do, I've got a pedestal to set in the back to mount a machine gun. What is it, an M6, I want to say is what the pedestal is. That there's a platform with a post that stands up. That needs a little bit of work. I think I'm going to put a Blue Force Tracker console up here, you know, the radio tray. I don't want to build out everything, although I've got the design for a housing for the monitor that I can put a tablet in, and that housing is 3D printed. And Andy Dobson printed one for me a few years ago, and I broke the tablet. So I need to get a new tablet and print a new one on the 3D printer. Let's see, anything I want to do up front? I think I might want to put a winch in. I haven't decided that yet. What else? Am I happy with this suspension height? It actually, being the heavy variant of the 1123, it's still got good suspension height. I may have to talk to Michael Hoffman and see if he has any thoughts or ideas on what I should do there. Give me whatever ideas you have. If you think this is an interesting project and you'd like to help me out, then give us a like and subscribe so you can follow along. I'm gonna be looking for feedback on things throughout this project. Dude, I'm not that smart. I'm gonna have things I can't figure out. I'm gonna need your help on, and I'm gonna need ideas and feedback as I move through. We've had pretty good luck on the main Gear Report channel with getting feedback and sharing things when we've done other Humvee projects. I really want to make sure this one goes well. If you're watching this, if you care about Humvee stuff, you're going to be critical to this process. So definitely, please come along for the ride with that like and subscribe. And we're on YouTube, we're on Rumble. I actually kind of prefer to grow the Rumble channel because YouTube has not been kind to the Gear Report channels. They nuked our Gear Report Guitars channel when we talked about Chinese copies of Gibsons and EVH guitars and whatnot. So we're really trying to push the Rumble side, as well as come check us out on gear-report.com, the website. We have a new section. The page is up for this truck for the Battle Wagon 4. We got pages for the Battle Wagon 3, 2, and 1 on there, as well as our old Show Us Your Humvee series. You can go find on the original, on the OG Gear Report YouTube channel. I probably need to move that series over to the newer Humvee channel and restart it. So let me know what you think.